Morning, everyone. Sorry, we're a little late starting. We're waiting for one of our speakers, but we think we're going to get started and hope that they're able to join us as we go. So I'd like to kick off with some introductions, some setting the scene, and then we're going to move into a panel discussion I'm really excited about. We've got a bit of time and space today to really get into the detail. So my name's Emma Williams. I'm the head of secretariat for the Alliance of Champions for Food Systems Transformation, or ACF, should be on the logo behind me. And I'd like to welcome you all today to this event on behalf of both the ACF and AGRA, which I'll tell you a bit about both of those organisations in a moment. But first of all, the event today. So what's it going to be about? Well, we're billing it as action, ambition, acceleration, and accountability. And I'll come on to the specifics of each of those. But essentially, it's about the process of food systems transformation and really getting a deep dive into 2 or 3 countries to understand what have they been doing, and specifically how they've been managing the kind of whole of government, the policy coherence, the trade-offs between different areas, because we all know food systems transformation, it's complex. There's judgment calls to be made about what you do at the expense of something else. And within a government system, that's often really complicated to navigate. And also the investment piece, how these different countries have secured investment, the process beyond just getting the investment pledge, what happens next? You know, that's not the end of the road. Some really interesting insights there, particularly from our colleague in Sierra Leone. So that's what we're going to get into today. It's going to be about an hour, well, about 50 minutes from now. I'd like to begin then by welcoming our speakers, introducing them. So we're really pleased to be joined by Alpha Yahya Mansoureh, who's the Director of Agriculture Extension in the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Sierra Leone. Also by Dr. Soxilo, who is the Secretary General of the Council for Agricultural and Rural Development in Cambodia. And we're hoping our third speaker, Nixon Kimarau, from the Ministry of Agriculture in Tanzania, will also be able to join us as we go. And finally, we've got the moderator for the panel discussion today, my colleague Ben Wangela, who is the TCC Africa coordinator at AGRA. So before we get into the panel, a little bit about what the ACF is, a little bit about AGRA. So if I start with AGRA, it focuses on agricultural transformation, working in 15 countries across Africa. I think many of you in the audience are either part of AGRA or know it well. The ACF is a high ambition coalition of countries. We launched 2 years ago at COP28 with 5 founding members. Brazil, Norway, and Sierra Leone are our co-chairs. Cambodia and Rwanda were our other 2 founding members. As of today, we are now 8 countries. And as it's Food Day, I'm allowed to now reveal the names of those countries. So we are delighted that we are now expanding to include Colombia, Italy, and Vietnam as well. We've got a press conference later this afternoon where we'll be hearing from ministers from some of those countries. So it's a really diverse grouping, right? These are totally different countries. These are global north, global south. They're from 4 of the 5 continents. All of them have the same challenge in common, which is that for a national government, it's not like the energy transition. It's really quite hard to look at others and say, they've done this, or it's well underway, and this is how it's going, and here's what we can learn from it. On food systems transformation, a lot of governments are feeling their way. It's complicated. So the ACF essentially came together saying we're a small, deliberately small, high ambition coalition of countries. All of these are very ambitious governments. They're not saying they've nailed it. They're not saying they're there, but they are committed to acting right across 10 agreed areas. So this covers the waterfront, what you'd expect from a food systems approach. It's everything from access to nutritious and affordable food, through to reducing food loss and waste, it's protection of biodiversity, it's reducing greenhouse gas emissions from agriculture. But the key thing is it comes back to this whole of government approach. It's looking at the trade-offs between those areas. I say this as somebody who spent many years in government in the UK. wrangling with colleagues in different departments about what price biodiversity protection in the face of energy security needs, for example, right? So I know these things are difficult to navigate. So they committed, our members committed to act across these 10 areas to integrate that international planning. And from Dr. Silo today, we're going to hear a bit about Cambodia's NDC 3.0, their recent NDC update, and the ways in which they've integrated food systems into that. Well, Yaya might talk about Sierra Leone's as well. Actually, they're both really good NDCs. Genuinely, if you want some bedtime reading, they are both a good read. But they also committed to report annually. And this is interesting because there's a dearth of metrics and visible kind of accountability from governments in this space, if you like. And today, the ACF are also, in addition to launching 3 new members, we are launching for our 5 founding members detailed progress frameworks. So those are coming out later today, and then short high-level progress snapshots explaining how our founding member countries have been acting across these 10 areas. And that's going to be longitudinally from kind of this year onwards, a really interesting snapshot of progress on these different fronts. So I've talked about ambition, acceleration, accountability. What do we mean by this? Well, ACF countries kind of came to COP30 saying, in terms of ambition, they were all committed to getting food systems integrated into their national planning, their NDC updates. Acceleration, it's about new member countries. It's also about investment secured, and we'll go into that today. And then accountability is the reporting. So visible progress updated yearly. Now, I don't want to eat Ben's sandwiches, so to speak, and say too much about what our members are going to talk about. But I would like to just say on Sierra Leone, I'm really keen to hear from Yaya about how they have mobilized over $1 billion in investment pledges for their national plan for Feed Salone, which is extraordinary if you think about it. That is such an achievement from Yaya and his colleagues. The minister, Dr. Paco, couldn't be with us, but has done so much on this. And then from Cambodia, I think it's so interesting to see, particularly on the nutrition front. I mean, Dr. Silo, I know you'll talk more broadly than just nutrition, but the ways in which you have gone right through your NDC 3.0 to fully integrate that. And I think it was the first NDC in the region to have food systems front and center in that way. And now I think, you know, there's the investment mobilization question for you. So I think it'd be great to hear more about that. And I hope if we get our colleague Nixon from Tanzania as well, we can hear about Tanzania's Building a Better Tomorrow program. But we'll see if he's able to join us. With that, I'll hand over to Ben and to our guests, and we can have the panel discussion. Thank you.
So, thank you very much, Emma, for that amazing introduction. I think all the members in this congregation know that it's on our lips that we say we should not work in silos, we should break the silos and do all that kind of thing. So this particular event is an evidence of that collaboration between 2 creatures of the COP28, that is the TCC and the SCF. And Emma has talked about the TCC in basically what it does, and the SCF, and I will speak a little bit about the TCC in terms of what it does. The TCC is a technical cooperation collaborative, and basically aligning technical support to government priorities across various actors who are founders of the TCC, and basically ensuring that these silos are broken and people are working together and there's no duplication. So what we know so far, and as building on the introduction of what Emma said, we know so well that strong cross-ministerial collaboration and empowered food systems are scalable and drivers of transformation for food systems. We know so well that flagship initiatives are able to bring in the necessary momentum to build investability and attract finance and investments along flagships in the nexus of agriculture, food systems, and climate action. We also know that countries have stepped forward to mobilize finance to invest in the nexus between agriculture and food systems. And there's been notable examples, some of that are within within this room right now. So, but we know that some gaps still exist. But we need to build from the lessons and learn from the experiences of where there's been astounding impact in terms of financial investments. And that's why we got Sierra Leone here, Tanzania is going to be here, and also talk about what Cambodia is doing as well. So without spending a lot of time, allow me to welcome to the panel Mr. Alfayaya Manzrai, the Director of Agricultural Extension, Minister of Agriculture and Rural, yes. And let me also bring on to the podium Dr. Sok Silo, the Secretary General, the Council for Agriculture and Rural Development of Cambodia. And when the other members of the panel are able to join in, then we are going to bring them on. And I would like to ask specifically Dr. Secretaries, how has, the Cambodia's recent NDC 3 revision has stood out with impressive integration of food systems. Can you tell us more about how Cambodia has integrated nutrition and food security into its climate financing?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Before I answer your question, I would like to inform you that Cambodia has a strong vision to transform our food system to more resilient, smart, and inclusive, to provide food security, nutrition, and promote, protect environment and promote food system to grow. In order to enhance the food system, the government has set up two directions. The first direction is to mitigate the effect of the climate change to the food system, the livelihood of the people. And the second direction is to adaptation of the effect of climate change to by using like promoting resilient livelihood, resilient infrastructure, to protect our health, life of the people, and to ensure provide like food reserve system to for the people in case of their facing the emergency need. So as the National Food System Convener, we have worked and consult with all the food system actor and climate actor to identify the priority area in the food system to integrate to the NDC 3.0. We have experience in the 2021 UN Food System Summit that we have prepared for the first food system roadmap for food sustainable development 2030 that provide us the opportunity and experience in identify the food system priority area for the NDC. And now recently we have updated our food system roadmap to the 2025 to 2030, the second food system roadmap for sustainable development that identify 6 priorities, 6 game changer that include social protection, agriculture, smart agriculture, homegrown school feeding program, social behavior, and promote the local fruit and vegetable production. And recently, through our consultation, we can come up with the priority, and this priority also aligned to the third national strategy for food security and nutrition, 2024 to 2028. So by doing this, we can collect all the input from our line ministry development partner to include in the NDC 3.0. This is the way that we have worked on for the update provide, and our food system area we identify for the cross-cutting issue is not overlap with the line ministry, the sector-led ministry like agriculture, environment, social protection, health, and water resource management. So we focus only the a joint priority that is coordinated by the Council for Agricultural and Rural Development. So we experience this, and we also thank to all development partners, including the Line Champion for Food System Transformation, the Sun Movement, and the NDC Partnership for jointly assist us to identify the priority and jointly mobilize the resource for us for advocacy this NDC 3.0. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. Allow me to dig a little bit deeper. That as you make commitments through NDC 3.0, and basically, and you bring in other partners in terms of the cross-sectoral coordination, and you are basically making certain promises in terms of the aspirations for NDC 3.0. Definitely, investments are needed in this particular work of integrating nutrition, food security, and climate action, as you have explained. And I also note that you've also talked about an ecosystem of partners that are surrounding that development of the NDC. And maybe my question is then, how are you planning to mobilize the necessary resources in financial investments and otherwise to be able to drive that implementation of that revised NDC 3.0? Thank you.
Yeah, during the formulation of the second roadmap for food system transformation, we also conduct a costing. We develop the financial strategy and advocacy strategy for food system transformation in Cambodia. And in this priority are also aligned with the key priority of the food system in NDC 3.0. So in the financial strategy, we have conduct some finance resource, and we have secure some budget from the development partner. We have identified the financing source from the development partner, from the civil society, private sector, and also from the government. But the majority that we can ensure now the financing from a development partner that we can mobilize. And for us, what we would like to encourage is the private investment. We encourage private to invest more in food system, and we think that only the demand side that we can mobilize resource. We encourage people to spend more on the nutritious food. The more that they spend, we can mobilize some resource for the food system transformation. And we also on the supply side, because we have worked with the bank, the microfinance institute that provide a major opportunity to influence the production. Because the existing portfolio of loan to agriculture have stand $1 billion, but investment designed to increase the percentage of loan will be used for the nutrition sensitive production that can have a profound lasting influence on the shaping of food system. And we also see, know that the development fund have decreased due to we are become the middle income country. So we will encourage more fund from private sector for our food system transformation. And we will so we will promote and mobilize funds through public investment by joining with like other sector to promote public investment. So this is, and we also have an advocacy strategy that we will use the strategy to advocate for more finance for food system transformation. So I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. And the final question from me on this particular time is, in terms of mobilizing private and public and development interest in investments, are there some lessons that Cambodia has learned that could be, that we could take away to other countries and that could be replicable and scaled up there? What, basically, like what is working and where the challenges have been? Thank you.
I think in terms of mobilizing it, it's a challenge for us. Even we have a good strategy, good like costing of the, but we need more working on partnership. We need a trust partner to assist us in working with us to mobilize a fund. I think yesterday our Minister of Environment also mentioned clearly the Aligned Champion food system transformation is the good channel for sharing and learning and advocate for food system transformation. So in this, we try to work with all the partners to find the trust partner that can help us in mobilize financial resource from the climate fund that we can make use for our food system transformation, and maybe from the loss and damage fund that we can work together to mobilize for this. So Cambodia is keen to develop the relationship and partnership with other DP and other initiative to provide a trust partner, and we hope that this community will assist us in mobilize funding for food system transformation in Cambodia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And COP28 is one of the platforms for being able to pitch some of these ideas and be able to mobilize financing from a number of actors. Let me turn over to Mr. Alpha Yaya Mazrai from the Ministry of Agriculture in Sierra Leone. Feeds Alone is a flagship that is well known in the African continent as an important example on how a whole of government approach to the political commitment can basically drive food systems transformation in a given country. And we are really curious to understand how did the political commitment contribute to the raising of $1 billion from external sources to drive a Feeds Alone? How did it happen, please?
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me start by bringing you greetings from the Honorable Minister, Dr. Musa Paka. It's compounded by many activities that prevented him to attend this important session today. But more or less, we're here, we're working as a team. We see the mobilization of resources. You can say 1 billion, yes, but it's leadership. It's the leadership that the government, has invested into the whole Feeds Alone initiative. And we say leadership because it's at the highest top, it's at the presidential level we see a president who has taken food system transformation to his chest. And in all the platforms that he's been given the opportunity to engage, he talks about its Feed Salo initiatives. And he set the stage and the platform that, yes, it's our initiative that we want to have full self-sufficiency. We want to have a food sovereignty state. And it's one that everybody within Sierra Leone resonates with. And that has been scaled at international platform, because when you talk about food security, it's everybody business. So at the UN conference, he speaks about his Feed Salo strategy and the gains we are making at the moment. And we convened a donor conference in Vienna some years back. And then you have a strategy which was well laid out, and strategy that resonates among multilateral and donor partners. That yes, we want to create employment, we want to reduce malnutrition, we want to empower women and youth, we want to do import substitutions so that we build up our foreign reserve. We want to reduce spending on importation of our most essential commodity that we consume, so that we support local production and build the capacity of farmers. So that resonates, around multilateral donor philanthropy. So there are a lot of pledges that comes in $1 billion plus, and we are happy to say now we've been converting, these pledges into concrete projects on the ground. We are looking at 27 to 30% now of those pledges being converted to concrete projects. We now have a livestock development project for $105 million. We have $40 million for scaling up cassava industrialization project. We are closing in the $75 million for an industrial, zones, because we believe food system transformation, we need to build this agro-industrial zone so that we can be able to do the things that matter most across the critical value chain. So we've enjoyed that political commitment as we move along with the implementation of our Feed Salo initiative. And it goes beyond that. We have the president leads the Presidential Council for Feed Salo. And so there is much more ownership and leadership. So it's where you break that barriers, the bottlenecks, because we are looking at a whole of government approach in our food system transformation. So where we want to do the trade-off between us and the Ministry of Environment, because we are expanding land, we want to put more land under cultivation. We need to do it in a very climate smart, sensitive way, so that we maintain, the soil health, the soil profile, and at the same time, we believe we are not feeding now. We're planning to feed generations, yet to come. So that's how we've been moving. Also, what we've been good at as government is to have a proof of concept. We know in terms of physical space, it's very, very tight. So the reason why we're saying we're getting these pledges and converting these pledges into concrete projects, it's what we are doing as government. We're deploying our own resources. Within the tight physical space, government deployed $10 million credit scheme, to private sector people. He said, come and invest into this space. So because we are willing as a government within our tight physical space, so it's a proof of concept that many, many private sector and donors will want to see how we can scale that up. So those are some of the things we have been pushing, in our food system transformation drive.
Yes, thank you very much. I would want to investigate about the trade-offs in my next question, but allow me to follow on what you've just said. And I think it's very clear that planning investment at the highest political echelon possible starts with Feed Salo, and everything else then pans from Feed Salo. And raising $1 billion is not easy. It's not a walk in the park. And again, you'd find that platforms like COP then may also, COP30 and other moments coming in down in, next year and in the next 2 years are likely to bring in more investments, because these are points at which you are going to pitch feed salon and its business case. But let's get back to the $1 billion that has been raised. What are the pain points? What are the pain points? Because the story is very rosy in terms of the $1 billion, but there must have been some pain that you guys went through, or some of the challenges, and maybe we could take that home and do something different in other geographies. Thank you.
Yeah, it's about getting the right partners in the room. So I say we're part of this alliance. We're part of the Alliance of Champions for Food System Transformation, and we are building the networks, the critical network. We are working with AGRA also. So it's getting this project into bankable project, designing these activities that they become bankable, so private sector could come and work into this space. So that has been the challenge inside of it, having the requisite expertise, to come in and help you build up a project proposal and design that will stand the test of times. But as we implement programs back home, we leverage upon what we already have. And because we are doing so well with what's already existing, so it's easy, for partners to say, yes, if we want to do this on livestock, I think you have a plan that is well laid out. You have the right technical expertise. If you don't have them, but you have the partners who you can leverage upon to provide this expertise, that you can move the needle at the end of the day. Because I'm sure everybody is shocked the way we are converting, these whole pledges into some tangible, concrete actions on the ground. But we are deliberate. We want to move faster. So we are knocking, at the doors of partners, who matters, to ensure that we push our food system transformation forward. Just 2 days ago, we signed another MOU with the Alliance Biodiversity International. This, to provide, the necessary, expertise, so that we can move some of these processes forward.
Thank you very much. I know the audience has got lots of questions for you and Dr. Silo as well, but just back to Sierra Leone. Some of the flagships that are proposed under Feed Salon are large scale, plantation-based, like rice production. Basically, that means that you are going to open up more land, and of course, opening more land could equally mean deforestation. How are you managing the trade-offs between such production-based plans and basically ensuring that you maintain the right ecological integrity? Thank you.
Yeah, so that's the like we said, Feed Salon is a whole of government approach, and the nexus between us as Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Environment is how we reduce the pressure from the upland. We are putting more, developing more inland valley swamps. Inland valley swamps, these are perennial areas where farmers, smallholder farmers, can do sustained, production over time. So as we increase the development of these infrastructures across, we are now ramping up to 7,000 hectares of inland valley swamps, under development. So you move farmers from the upland to the lowland. And as we are doing that, we're also moving towards agroforestry. We are also doing cocoa and oil palm plantation. Over the last couple of years, we've done 9,000, hectares of cocoa fields, for smallholder farmers, 5,000 hectares of oil palm plantations, being deployed for smallholder farmers. So as we are getting this trade-off, we know it's easy for farmers to cultivate, using the upland. But we say, yes, you can also, if we develop these critical infrastructures, you can come down to the lowland, and then you can have multiple, within the inland valley swamp, you can do, double cropping, even triple cropping, for rice production and then vegetable. We're also developing an irrigation infrastructure. 5,000 irrigation infrastructure is being developed. We are doing this, also showing a case, a model, that private sector can come and run with. Like I said, we don't have that, financial capability to do 30,000 hectares, but we have a space that can take 30,000 hectares of irrigation. What we are showing as government is to deploy 5,000 hectares of irrigation scheme, and then call on the private sector, say, hey, come, I think you can expand on this as we move along with our food system transformation.
So thank you. And now this question goes to both panelists. And the question is, during this COP and previous priority moments, we've had a great deal about commitments. I remember at COP28, there were $2.6 billion commitments, $2.5 billion commitments, and that money is lying out there with whoever. So I would really need to know from you, and in your experience, what are your plans for moving the needle to basically converting these pledges into actual money for program delivery?
So like I said, we already have $1 billion, pledge that we are trying to convert into concrete project. We'll keep on that momentum. We'll keep on designing bankable project that matters, that serves today generations and the next generation, because those are the key lines, investors or private sector players may want to look at as we move ahead. We'll continue to scale as we move along, continue to scale our initiatives. We have partners that we think can unlock, these critical funding opportunities that we have. We're open up in reaching out more partners that we will work with in unlocking this funding opportunities that we have. Even at COP here, we know we are in Azerbaijan, a lot of pledges were made. In Dubai, a lot of pledges were made. I know here also, a lot of pledges are going to be made. But what we'll do as a government is to keep pushing, keep showing that leadership. Our president keep talking about our initiative. We'll stick to that plan and ensure that we win over private sector people, because we know we are keeping this space. This space is for private sector players to come and run with. And then we link them with our smallholder farmers, our family farmers, to get our complete food system transformation drive as we move towards.
Thank you. Dr. Silo?
Yeah, at COP28, we have joined the Emirates Declaration on Sustainable at COP28, we have joined the Emirates Declaration on Sustainable Agriculture, Resilient Food System, and Climate Action. And now, 2 years later, it is time for us to provide some progress and commit on the implementation.
Please raise your voice.
Yeah. And in terms of fund mobilization, it's great to hear that the pledge for millions of dollars for from one COP to another COP, but it is hard for us to how to get the finance from the pledge due to the lack of capacity to develop or design the project proposal and to work with other sector to seek for financial support to support our action plan and our commitment. We have strong commitment, strong policy, and strong strategy, but still lack of financial resource. That's why we need to work with all the development partner and other country how to work together to bring a strong voice together in order to lobby or advocate for more fund for food system transformation. As my minister yesterday have mentioned during the Alliance Champion Food System Transformation workshop, that we need to build the strong alliance to become a one voice that provide the platform for the advocate for the finance for the food system transformation. So we need the trust partner, the strong alliance that can work together, how and to assist us in develop a project proposal to apply for funding. This is the main challenge for us, that we need capacity building as well and technical support from all the development partners. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take the next 5 minutes and open this to the participants and to ask questions directly to Dr. Selo or Mr. Manzurai or jointly to the team. Yeah. You can use my mic.
Thank you very much. My name is Fabrice Carbon. I work for Heifer International. I would like to congratulate Sierra Leone and Cambodia for being first the pioneers in adopting this kind of food system approach. It's very brave. It's also very complex. We know it involves a lot of different actors and a lot of different realities. One reflection, we can all agree that without farmers, there is no food system. So farmers are also at the center of that reflections. And I would like to hear maybe from Sierra Leone and Cambodia, the challenge also of integrating, we know the different challenges that the farmers are facing now on climate change, on difficulties to crop, linked to the ecosystems problems faced also at the soil level, at the water resource level. And still, like inside this food system approach, how can we ensure also, and how your countries are reflecting on integrating also the farmers and the farmer producers or the farmer organizations into that reflections of the food system? Because we know it's also a big challenge for them to participate also in those discussions. Thank you very much.
I think I have a similar question. I'm from Togo, working with Compassion International. My question is linked to the challenge of importation. We have 19,000 parents we support in our country, but the main challenge is the importation of rice and soya beans. That is challenging the work they are doing. So I want to know for Sierra Leone, for example, how they are supporting caregivers in their country so that their agriculture products are not challenging by other importation from outside the country. Yeah.
Hi, it's Anna Morgan from the ACF. I had two questions. One was to invite Yaya to say a bit more about the kind of investment mix of the funding secured, because you've got quite an unusual selection of donors. I think it would be great for us to hear a bit more about that. And then second, just to ask where you'd like to be in a year's time, you know, COP31, what would you like to see happen in the next 12 months in terms of both of your kind of investment strategies and flagship programs?
Allow them to answer those first. Dr. Selo, you may go first.
Yeah, I will answer your question, how to integrate the voice of farmer into the government strategy and policy. Actually, in Cambodia, our development of Cambodian roadmap for food system transformation, it's through the consultation process. We work in like a government approach. We bring all the government actors to work together. Also consult with the farmer, consumer, and producer at the both national and subnational level. We make several consultations before we come up with to collect the input from the subnational level as well as the national level. So during the 2021 UN Food System Summit, during the COVID area, the COVID time, we can conduct more than 30 consultation workshops in both national and international and subnational level. We bring even the voice from indigenous people as well as the human rights actors, because at that time, those indigenous people and human rights actors, they come to the UN resident coordinator they want to join the UN Food System Summit. So the UN Resident Coordinator has called for a meeting between government, indigenous people, and at that time it make a very tough, because sometimes we could not understand the voice of the indigenous people. And by translating from indigenous language to Khmer language for us to understand. So we have tried not just only the farmer, we go deeply until the indigenous people at the rural area to bring their voice, to incorporate to our priority of the food system. So this is that our ambition that we want to include all voice. We understand that food system is more like a food value chain from farm to fork, related to farmer, producer, retailer, and consumer. So we need to consult with them what is they want, what our food system roadmap, our priority look like. So we have to talk to them. So this is the way that we work in Cambodia, and we hope that our food system is very reflect to all the voice in the country. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So let me just go to the policies. When we developed the feed saloon strategy, we are clear in our minds that for us to have that implementation going, it needs to be guided by key policies. So what we did first was to pass the importers policy. We want importers of the major staples like rice to participate within the space. We are not saying you come and produce rice, but we know we're going to scale rice production in Sierra Leone. Can you come and do some level of activity within the value chain? Can you do aggregation? Can you do processing? So we had to engage, the Ministry of Finance and then the lawmakers to have a 5% tax level on the importation of rice. And of course, during our bilateral engagement, other people are saying that's too small, but we are starting from ground zero. So we are yet to build those critical infrastructure that will give us that confidence that if we do this, and I think we'll get it right at the end of the day. So 5% tax was good, and we are using that to support the initiatives. And we also passed the homegrown institutional feeding policy. So because we're also moving towards producing enough of our staples, can we use this to feed the institutions, the schools, the military, the police, because these are the off-takers of the major commodities we are producing. And it's good to say we've started with the school feeding initiative. It's going on very well. As of now, the data with WFP is clear. By 2028 to 2029, they will be doing 100% homegrown for rice in Sierra Leone. So, and we are providing that backstopping to WFP, still showing that model that it could work if we provide the requisite financing so that they can offtake from farmers. Because it's good that farmers will produce, but if it's a disincentive if you don't offtake from them. And I know we are competing a lot with our borders, our rice moving to some other areas, but because of the free trade, but we are trying as much as possible to account for the rice we produce and the commodities we produce in country. And that's why we are building these industrialization centers, these agro-processing zones in critical areas so that we can be able to account, for what we produce. So we're also working now, you will say, we have a strategic reserve now. We have been identifying the ECOWAS region to host one of the strategic reserve. And now we have close to 20,000 bags of rice stored in one of our zones. So these are rice bought from Sierra Leone farmers. What does that mean? It means you are putting money into the pockets of Sierra Leonean farmers. And the data from the Ministry of Trade, $15 million saved, just in 2024, from what we used to go and buy rice from other countries. So I think we want to scale that as we move, into 2026, 27, and 28. For our farmers, it's clear our farming population, 80% of our population works within the agricultural field. Everybody within that space are farmers. So what we are saying, we're trying, because we know government is, in terms of how we reach, we want to create that platform that will link them to private sector, because that's the sustainable way to go. But we are still doing our own bits, because there are certain things that government needs to do. We've developed, for the first time over 60 years, we mapped our swells. We now know the structure of our swells. And this is good for farmers, it's good also for private sector players. We are rolling out a first weather index scheme for our farmers. And these are also bottlenecks that we have with our private sector people to come and deploy that, the risks involved. So now we have over 3,000 farmers, having opportunity to have the weather, index insurance scheme. We're also developing seeds for our farmers, climate smart resilient seeds, so that given the looming climate, the conditions we have now, so that our farmers will be able to become resilient. Developing all these infrastructures, the inland valley swamp, they are for our farmers, our smallholder farmers. We want to develop land. We worked on 24,000 hectares of land in 2024, just from government support. This is not including the 500,000 hectares being cultivated by other smallholder farmers and private sector partners. So what we are doing, we're doing it for smallholder farmers. We're providing them the requisite support, the infrastructure that is needed, deploying the machinery so that they can produce rice, processed rice that is competitive, to the international rice that is coming from outside. In terms of financing, we are using different financing mix from philanthropists. We're working with Gate Foundations, there are other big players. We're also using our own local, initiative, government providing from the multilateral and donor partners, private sector initiative. So we are using all these, different blends of financing scheme to reach out, and support this whole initiative as we are getting along with our farmers.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. May you clap for them? It is good. I know there could be more questions, but we are now getting to the hour. But this is only day 3 of the second week of the COP. So Cambodia and Sierra Leone and their colleagues are going to be around for more questions. Let me ask my colleague Emma to come and make concluding remarks, and then from that we can have a photo, and then we can wind up. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Ben. Thank you to our panelists. I'll keep this brief because we're nearly at time. So I wanted to really appreciate the fact that it's always lovely to have ministers at these events, right? But one of the absolute pleasures of working with the Alliance of Champions Food Systems Transformation is getting to work with people like Dr. Silo and Yaya, who are the senior official technical level who do a lot of the work. Now, Yaya, I know, for example, that Dr. Packer, your Minister for Agriculture and Food Security, I mean, he hasn't been off a plane for the last 2 years. That's part of the 1 billion, right? But hearing you talk today, hearing Dr. Silo talk as well about the experiences in Sierra Leone and Cambodia, there's just such a wealth of experience there. I mean, it's not often I say this and mean it, but I wish we could have gone on a bit longer, but we can't. So thank you to both of you for coming today and sharing your experience. I think thank you, of course, as well to the TCC and to AGRA, Ben, for moderating us. I should say thank you to CGIAR on 2 fronts. One is for hosting us today in this lovely pavilion, which has more air conditioning than many areas around us. I've been quite grateful sitting there. Also, because CGIAR are actually host for the ACF Secretariat. And finally, I should also mention our supporting partners, FOLU, the Food and Land Use Coalition, who also helped to staff our Secretariat. So with that, I'm going to thank all of you for coming today. COPs are so hectic. We're always grateful to get a really attentive audience and great questions. So thank you for that. Say we've got a press conference at 3:30 8:30 p.m. today, launching our 3 new ACF members, Colombia, Italy, Vietnam. So if any of you want to come to that, there'll be ministers from our 3 co-chairing countries, Brazil, Norway, Sierra Leone, Minister Abdullahi, and also Minister of Agriculture from Colombia. So I hope to see some of you there. But with that, thank you. And the event's closed. Thanks.